Leviathan the Lost. But why now? After all this time.
Why, what now?
Oh, I'm not sure you'd believe me if I told you.
After all we've been through. I doubt there's anything that could surprise me at this point.
All right then. Rouse Joshua and meet me in the mess. We'll talk there. I see we're all here.
So, what is it this time?
I'm not sure yet. The letter delivered to my chambers omitted a few crucial details.
Do we know its provenance?
That was one of the details it omitted. But whoever the sender was, it seems the Dame held them in high enough regard to point them in our direction.
The Dame? Well, she's not one to waste our time. It must be important.
Important might be an understatement. If the letter is to be believed, Leviathan's dominant is in danger. And someone wants us to save him.
Leviathan?
So the Warden of Water has finally returned. What has it been?
More. That even our venerable lawsman would not have been so much as a glint in his father's eye.
But why the gap? I know it can be a few years before a new dominant's born.
Should the dominant of Water's bloodline have been severed somehow, it could have prevented a new dominant from awakening.
But if one has awakened now, he couldn't have chosen a worse time. Every nation in the realm has lost its dominant. If word gets out that there is still one to be had, they will stop at nothing to claim it for their own.
And the twins will be at war again. Just when humanity most needs to come. Did the letter say anything else?
Only that if I wish to know more, we must meet in person, and that the Veil can arrange a meeting.
Famous.
As am I.
Thank you. And Otto?
Yeah.
I shall leave the Invincible in your capable hands. To the Veil it is, then.
Looks like you've got a thirst.
But enough talk. How about we...
Fancy a peek behind the veil, my lord?
I'm looking for a Layla.
You found one. So, will your friend...
We're not here for your services.
What you do with your time is up to you. The price is still the same.
We're here about the letter.
Oh. Oh, sorry. I suppose you'll be wanting to know who wrote it then.
Among other things.
Look, I'm just the messenger here. There's only so much I can tell you.
Specifically?
A location, north of town, on the shore of Isle of Feist Bay. There you'll find a tent, and the woman who can answer your questions.
And that's all? Nothing else?
Actually, one thing. There's more than flowers in the meadows these days. So keep that sword of yours to hand.
Does anyone else think it strange that this woman should prefer to keep to the outskirts of town?
Not if she realizes the value of the information she's party to.
And the danger it puts her in.
Come on. Well, the tent is where Layla said it would be.
Yes, but who awaits us inside?
It's empty. Why am I not surprised? A boat. No prizes for guessing who that belongs to. The embers are still warm.
So you're Sid.
I suppose I must be. Which means you have me at a disadvantage.
Apologies. I am Shula, tributary of Mysidia, final haven of the Motes of Water.
The Motes of Water.
The very tribe into which it was believed Leviathan's dominant was born. A people notable for their sapphire eyes and ivory hair. Yet that would be impossible, since the tribe famously...
Vanished. Was exterminated. Despite the best efforts of both church and state, we are still very much alive. Though we've managed to keep that fact hidden from good Krieger's faithful for over a century.
Along with Leviathan's dominant.
That wave out there. What do you know of it?
The Surge.
Since the fall of Drake's Eye, almost some claim the two are connected.
So in other words, not that I'll hold it against you. The wave was raised by Leviathan moments before the waters were stayed. and the Icon and its dominant.
And you want us to?
Rescue him. You see, a little bird told me about a certain outlaw with a singular knack for putting unruly dominants in their place. And ours is about as unruly as they get. For years, we've searched for someone who could hold their own against an Icon. Someone just like you. So what do you say? Will you help us?
What exactly did your dominant do to War?
What did he do? He committed the greatest crime, but he deserves a better fate than the one my people...
As do we all. Very well. Something tells me you speak in earnest, so we will do what we can for your dominant. But first, you will tell us everything you know about him and the means of his imprisonment.
I can do better than I can show you. Care to take my people or wait you there?
Lead the way.
All right, you might want to hold on to something. We're coming up on the wall, and passing through can take a bit of getting used to.
I don't see any wall.
Of course you don't. That's the point. It's a glamour woven by our ancestors to keep our village hidden from prying eyes. But don't take my word for it. Watch.
That was worse than a slug of Bacchus wine.
Clive, the sky.
It's blue, but how is that possible?
You do know what a glamour is, don't you? Ours just happens to work both ways, and a good thing too. I wouldn't fancy staring at those sickly clouds every day. And that concludes our little voyage. We're here. It's a long slog to the village, and a hard one. I hope you're up for a climb.
Finally.
What? You didn't think we'd... The village isn't up here.
Of course.
Watch yourself, Sid. This path can be treacherous. If not for the sheer drop, then for the beasts who prowl it.
Thank you for the warning. And please, Call me Clive. Sid is an alias.
You will be pleased to learn, Lady Shula, that I have no such aliases.
Is that so, Lord Margrace?
It's all the same to me. I was wondering when they'd pick up our scent.
Stand back. We'll handle this.
Oh, will you now? Shall I keep my axe and spells to myself, then?
Earlier you mentioned spells, yet I see you carry no crystals.
Since when did a bearer ever need crystals?
But then, where is your brand?
Waiting for me in Sombrek, if I ever get careless.
Then it's in for a long wait.
We're almost at the summit. From there, you'll have a better view of our home. Few have ever set eyes on what I'm about to show you. Just so you know.
This is not what I expected.
Welcome, my friends, to Mysidia.
It's been a long time since I saw the North looking so
Alive.
I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but it's been a long journey, and I expect we could all do with a rest. Our humble village is only a short way from here, if you'd care to accompany me. Let's get ourselves in front of a fire, and I'll tell you everything you need to know.
It's beautiful, Shula.
We aim to keep it that way.
Are those stones glowing?
That's one of the cairns which maintain the glamour. Steer well clear.
If the surge was an act of rage...
One wonders what prompted it.
Could we not have spared ourselves the mountain crossing by landing further north?
In clear view of the bay?
On evening tides.
Does morning's light return?
Open the gates! The tributary is home!
Outsiders? Look at the size of that dog.
All right now. You'll have to forgive my people their curiosity.
Then we are honored to be the first.
This is quite extraordinary.
So do you believe me now?
You've made it difficult not to, my lady. But how did your people chance to settle here, in the north? Unless I am much mistaken, the moat until Drake's Horn fell, and the Blight forced them ever inland, where...
We met our doom, along with our dominant. I see you've read the Gregorian Church's account, but perhaps you'd like to hear ours. That building over there is the Witten Hall. It's where my people gather to discuss matters of import. We can speak more inside, once the place is ready to receive you. It shouldn't take long, but you're welcome to explore the village while I see to things.
Thank you.
The stalks are thin, the leaves limp. We should dress the soil with dung and straw at once.
Just you stay away from that temple. Do you hear?
worst time?
I give you my grain, you give me your eggs.
I'm sorry, but I don't like it.
Welcome to Haven. The tributary awaits you within the Witten Hall.
Oh, do you think he bites?
Intruders! We must flee!
It's all right.
Look! Look, Nan, it's the outsiders!
Gosh.
Ma'am, I want to play with the others.
Well, you should have thought about that before making such a mess.
How long do you think this...
So what do you think of our little haven in the woods? It might not have all the comforts of a southern settlement, but at least it's ours.
And there's a lot to be said for that. It can't have been easy keeping this place a secret.
Not easy, no. We've dedicated our lives to maintaining the glamour that conceals us. Us and Walyas.
This man, Walyas, is he Leviathan's dominant?
That's right. Though he's no man, Walyas is still a baby.
A baby?
Forgive me, but you said that the Dominant and his icon were bound inside the Surge almost a century ago. That would surely make him older still.
It would, if he'd been allowed to age. But the spell robbed the poor bairn of even that.
I'm sorry.
Walyas was the son of my great-grandfather. Leviathan awoke within him almost immediately, but instead of allowing the lad to live out his life as a valued member of the community, my ancestors sought to put his power to other uses. Sadly for them, the icons sensed their treachery and summoned a wave so large it would have swallowed the entire village if my ancestors hadn't stopped him.
Then it is not the surge that binds the child, but time itself.
Yes.
Forgive me.
I'm not surprised. Which is why it might be better if I took you to see him, show you exactly what he has to endure.
That is why we came.
Then let us be off. There's a road that leads north from the village.
Are you bound for the Wave, tributary?
We are, Delina. Have you spread the word about...
I have.
You shouldn't have any trouble now, but just in case.
That's very kind.
The feeling's mutual.
Should the tributary be indisposed, feel free to ask me any questions you might have regarding...
Thank you.
Then I bid you good tide.
Our storehouse lies across the bridge. If you're short of supplies, you may find what you need.
You are Sid, aren't you? I wonder if you could help.
With what exactly?
Oh, nothing too troublesome. Do you know my husband, Pavat? He's the village smith, among other things. He's a craftsman, you see, and he's been fretting about running low on the flowers he used. Perhaps, but it can't. Please, I know it sounds daft, but I'd be...
Which flowers does your...
The sweet little blue ones that grow around the fount. We use them to dye our fabrics so we always feel close to water. You don't need to go to the trouble of picking them yourself, though. Just speak to the field hands and ask them to share their harvest with...
2 basketfuls at it.
If you want something from the forge, you'll have to wait your turn. I've got my hands full as it is.
Oh, I'll have her hide when she gets back. Oh, sorry. If you're after something from the storehouse, she will have to charge you for the goods, though. Not that we'd fleece you or anything. It's just, you know.
I understand.
Saying that, she might not be able to get anything down for you for a bit.
Ah, right.
She's got her hands full with the inventory, you see. It should have been my daughter's job, really. The heavens only know whether...
If you'd like me to keep an eye out.
Oh, no. Could I?
Of course not.
I hope not. Aye, that she is. Can't get her to sit still. Oh, if she wanted to watch you arrive, she'd have made for the low gate.
All right. I'll let you know if I find her. Excuse me. I wonder, might you be able to spare a basket? Pavart's wife tasked me with collecting some. For...
Ah. Werder wants you to bless her better half with the fruits of our... Go on, then.
I'm sorry.
Ah, don't worry about it. An old fool Pavart may be. But if you come bearing gifts, he's not fool enough to turn you away.
I'm
not arguing. The child must be safe.
If you want something from the forge, you'll have to wait your turn. I've got my hands full as it is.
Thank you. Forgive my presumptuousness, but the smith's wife has asked me to make her husband a present of some elder's blessing.
Wow.
It is. They really are.
Aren't they just? Legend has it that when our people fled from Ash, the tributary of the Tyne, and as they wandered high and low across the Twins, he'd plant them wherever they stopped for water. So when we finally put down roots here in Mysidia...
Well, that's 2 basketfuls. Time to visit Pavart.
What do you want?
Your wife asked me to bring you these flowers.
Now, come out.
Who? Me? I'm sorry. I did. It's just my husband can be a bit standoffish at times. What with you being a swordsman like and him being the only smith in the village.
The only reason he couldn't turn to me for help is because I had my hands full with all the orders you lot dumped on me. I'm pretty much done with them now, though. But, for the record, the tributary said that we were to lend you outsiders our aid. Still, here.
All right.
All right, then.
You use them for dyeing, I hear.
Aye. Crush the petals and it makes a fine and... We use it to stain the cloth for our tunics and...
As modes of water. Children of the sea.
That's right. The Ceaseless Rill, it's called. It symbolises the river of our tribe, and no matter how that river has ebbed and flowed, changed its course, the flowers have always been with us, growing on our banks. I should get back to work.
I will.
Reckon my steel's just as good as any. A good tide to you.
Poor things are as pale as ghosts.
Did you hear that, girl? You're going with father today.
If you don't mind...
There's a pair of ships just up ahead.
Ships? But are we not still leagues from the shore?
The quickest route to the surge is due east, past the second galley.
Shula, how did these ships come to be here?
What do you imagine happens when an icon of water gets angry?
Really, brother, did you have to ask?
Tongarees. Feral creatures consumed by their hatred for everyone and everything.
Everything save sharp knives, it seems.
easy.
I can smell the sea.
It's not far now.
How will we reach the surge?
We'll follow the coastline north. There's a bridge that'll take us across to the cape. You don't want to go down there. Trust me.
Do I even want to ask why?
Might I inquire about the Ray of Light?
It's what prevents the surge from being reclaimed by the sea. And Dwalius by his people. Careful.
You said before that the child is bound within the surge, but you've yet to tell us how we're meant to reach him. I trust we won't have to hold our breath.
No. The surge wraps around the cape without engulfing it. There is a path down to the seabed.
All right. It won't be the first dominant we've met at the bottom of the...